Eddie, Joe Laws has been making a lot of noise this week. Of course, you represent Devin Haney as well. How realistic is that fight to happen in the near future?
Well, look, I love Joe Laws, but I've got to say Devin Haney is probably one of the best prospects in world boxing. He may have had a good round, so he says. I mean, Devin says not. But what we do know is Joe Laws is a really good young talent, and the support he has in this city, by the way, is unbelievable. But Devin Haney is world class. You can't mix those two, yet. Who knows? If the bad blood continues and Joe Laws starts winning British titles and European titles, that's a fight we could look at. But first things first, get through his six rounder on Saturday night.
I mean, there's 4 Geordies on this card. Yeah. Does that mean, we're going to be seeing a lot more shows here in Newcastle in the future?
Well, I think there's more than 4 Geordies. There's probably about 6 or 7 Geordies on this card. Everything is run by the main event. Without that main event and that star name, you can't bring the big televised shows to the region. I thought we'd lost it against Patera. I thought we'd blown our chance. Now, he's come back with 2 wins. You guys have just continuously supported him. And then all of a sudden, now we're talking about if Josh Taylor wins next Saturday and Lewis Ritson wins, that is a St James's Park fight written all over it. So I know I like to talk a lot and sort of build these big dreams, but we are actually only 9 days away from the possibility of that happening. Robbie Davies Jr. is a great fight. It's not going to be easy. We saw Patera. I believe that Robbie Davies Jr. is a better fighter than Patera. So I think it's going to be difficult for Lewis Ritson, difficult for everybody, but I believe it's going to be a great fight.
Now, Ted Cheeseman taking on Scott Fitzgerald. Another person on the card, Kieran Conway. You told me at York Hall when Kieran Conway fought Cheeseman, you'd be looking to work with him again. So you've got sort of a monopoly on these light middleweights with Fowler as well. They can all surely fight each other in the next couple.
That's what we want. I mean, we want the winner of Saturday night to fight Anthony Fowler, and probably the loser of Saturday night to fight Kieran Conway. And Kieran's in an 8-rounder on Saturday. He's a very good young talent. I can't wait for Fitzgerald against Cheeseman. Another brilliant fight. I haven't got a clue what's going to happen. And Anthony Fowler will be there, waiting in the wings for maybe a rematch or maybe a British title shot against Ted Cheeseman.
Eddie, can I just ask a couple of questions? Yes, no. So, Believe in Bruce, I put a body language video on YouTube 4 days ago about KSI Logan Paul. It's got 150,000 views.
Right.
So this is going off the map. There is some great energy about this. I think it's an indicator that it is an entertainment business. I've got some questions here from the YouTubers. Just 2 questions, if you would answer them. One with 163 thumbs up. So ask him, will you ever hold a YouTube-only boxing event?
Never say never, but I have to say, at the moment, this is a one-off. But since I've made the fight, I'm getting so much stick in my DMs from YouTube fans. Make Jake Paul against Gibb. Make Faye Sensei against someone else. So Dylan Dennis against someone else. A lot of them can fight. Some of those guys that I mentioned have actually had MMA fights. I mean, they're proper fighters. It's not an intention of mine to become a YouTube boxing promoter, but I do recognise the draw and the attraction of these names, and also the number of subscriptions that they can do for a subscription business like DAZN, where the fight's being staged. But I only really want to do stuff that's licensed by the commission, where we do have the proper medical stuff in place, drug testing, that kind of stuff, because it is dangerous. But more importantly, it has to be credible. I don't want 2 guys who can't fight going in there and making a mockery of the sport. These guys can fight. They're training hard with proper trainers. They've fought before in front of 20,000. They've undergone all the right medicals. They've been licensed by the commission. So we'll leave this one for now. Jake Paul might be making a little appearance at some point, and he can fight as well.
And the second question, last question, is obviously with the new environment, maybe you and Adam Smith come across a little nervous with the new YouTube audience when you're doing that press conference as well. So there's a bit shift from a boxing environment to something that's brand new for you. And is the question, will you ever replace Michael Buffer with the True Jordy?
Well, I'll tell you the reason that I was nervous, because there was about £60 in coins being thrown at the stage. A packet of condoms whizzed past my head. A tub of Vaseline hit me on the knee. A hymn book came flying on the stage. So I was thinking, I just want to get out of here without taking one on the nut. So I thought True Jordy was brilliant. And actually, I'm so glad I used him, because for the first press conference in LA, I was looking at everyone going, what is going on here? So last week, I just went, right, True Jordy, take it away, bye. And he was great. That's his world. This is a different fan base. Those people don't know me. It's not like me doing a boxing press conference. I was walking around that arena. No one had a clue who I was. Felt like no context Hearn all over again. So looking forward to the fight and looking forward to understanding this new audience.
Brilliant, thank you, Eddie.
Eddie, just last one from me. At the KSI Logan Paul press conference, Dillian Whyte said that he is looking to get out in December. I know you can't say too much on the situation, but we are towards the end of October. Is that realistic, in your opinion?
Yeah, he can fight tomorrow. I mean, I still want UK to issue a statement, as we all do, but we our hands are tied, frustratingly, by a process. But there's no reason why he can't fight. He was cleared to fight on that July 20th card. He's not suspended, he's not banned, he's not anything. So he can fight, and he may well do so before the end of December.
Eddie, how likely is it that Billy Joe Saunders will fight Triple G possibly next year?
Yeah, I think he's in the mix for all of those fights. I think he has to get past Caceres, and then his next fight has to be against Canelo, Triple G, Callum Smith, Demetrius Andrade or Danny Jacobs. So huge fights coming for Billy in 2020.
And Kell Brook, we haven't seen much of him for a while. Is he likely to come back?
Yeah, we're looking at hopefully getting him out in December. So it won't be the mega fight that he's after, but he needs to get out. It's 10 months since he boxed, so we need to make sure that he gets out, gets ready, and he wants to be put in all those big fights.
You said it was last chance saloon for Khan-Brook. Have you made any progress in negotiations?
Small. We're still a long way away.